Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. And in today's video we are going to discuss about how to find your IP address in this lecture. So without wasting our time, let's start the session. How to find your IP address. Networks and cyber web don't determine computer systems of any dimension. Alike your smartphone, with the aid of the identity you provide them. Computer systems option for numbers and the numbers they utilize as identifiers are called IP addresses. The IP stands for Web Agreement, which is part of the Manual Handle Agreement Cyber Web Protocol TCP/IP. It is all called IP for short, and TCP/IP is the language acclimated for community communication by the best network. Back it comes to your laptops, there are definitely a couple of IP addresses worried. One is how the laptop talks to the cyber web at tremendous, which is the IP address of your router. That IP address is often assigned to the router by using your internet carrier provider ISP. The router in return handles all the traffic out of your computers and different instruments out to the web. So even if a domain passes an appeal available in the in from the IP handle on the router knows the way to route the tips from the computing device. It truly is why or not it's called a router. Computer system on inside network be if it Wi-Fi or Ethernet at domestic or in the office have their personal IP addresses assigned to them continually via the router. With that approach, all of the nodes on the inner network can talk. The agreement used through the router to accredit IP addresses is referred to as Activating Host Control Protocol DHCP. If in case you have an IP address assigned, it is typically considered as activating IP since it may be brief. The router may supply the node in question as distinct IP tackle and after time same as the IP tackle your ISP after your router, despite the fact that you can install changeless IP addresses on computers so that they by no means exchange. This will also be critical for some forms of network communications. Exceptionally, if or not, it's important to be capable of finding that identical bulk over and over. You might also get a static IP on your router, which is handy in case you run an internet server, for example, but are expecting your ISP to change to can charge additional. IP addresses are customarily in the identical layout as a bit number, proven as four decimal numbers, each and every with more than a few two FR with the aid of dots. Each set of three numbers is called an octet. This structure is used via IP version or IPv with it. You might in the idea have to accessible despite the fact that this constrained the world to a portable probable plus billion IP addresses, which is never ample. So There's also IPv, which is bit with 8 corporations of hexadecimal digits numbers and reduced case belletrist mixed. All is separated by way of a colon, for instance. DBAAE that presents a lot more than 4 billion addresses. The specific number is a with 0 after it or to the byger, which is technically is it true is a lot of addresses. There may come a time if you have happened to deserve to understand the IP handle of your router as assigned via your ISP. This can also be peculiarly handy for issues like VoIP calls or far away managed utility. When you will additionally locate is that there's a lot of assistant about your attached to that IP tackle, especially your ISP's name and your regular region are known as a GeoIP. It truly is because ISP's allotment out a variety of IP addresses, figuring out your provider and standard area based on IP handle is as simple as consulting an accessible checklist. The simplest way to examine your router's public IP address is to search what is my IP on a Chase agent. With Google, this is you see there's a lot of sites obtainable with the intention to display you the accurate identical issue. They see fit comfortability as a result of by way of visiting the website. Your router has made a request and for this reason published the IP tackle. Sites like what is my IP, M and IP location all go farther, showing off the names of your ISP, your city and alike maps. The GeoIP data is far from foolproof. Commonly, you are going to get an approximation of region where the company is no longer the genuine desktop. In traveling these sites, I was advised I was in Ithaca, New York, and Syracuse, Big Apple. One gave a breadth longitude that put me in a Arctic Carolina, which could be where my ISP has a data core. For all I know, make sure to log out of your VPN carrier too. Getting a real address for the public IP tackle usually requires a search accreditation taken to the ISP. Each device that connects to your interior community, be it at home or the workplace, has an IP address. Your computing device, your smartphone, your shimmering television, your community printer, and many others. It does not remember if it is using Wi Fi or Ethernet. They have all received an IP handle if they are talking to the internet or each and every different via your router. In the best simple community, your router goes to accept an IP handle like, and that might be known as the aperture. You're going to see it pop up lots as you seek the IP addresses of alternative device. That usually capacity your router will spend DHCP to assign addresses to contraptions where only the closing octet changes, so 101 or as an instant it depends the range defined by using your writer. router. This is magnificent, a good deal, the identical on all interior network. As a result of they are hidden at the back of the router, which routes all the communic in and out to the suitable places. If you have a big internal network, an extra number known as a subnet will assist bisect your community into organizations. The subnet marks acclaimed by way of best domestic network is. So, how do you discover it in Windows? It requires the command prompt search for CMD without the cost of the use of home Windows search. Click on it to get the command band and the ensuing pop-up container classification config no adduce marks then acknowledgement access. Where is printed is more What is printed is more than just the IP handle. You will see the IPv handle and IPv if supported. The subnet mask additional the default gateway. This is your router appear aloft that row of static within the center, and it shows a category of affiliation. Instant lane adapter Wi-Fi. If I was the usage of a wired connection, it would have information under Ethernet adapter. On the Mac, go to the equipment preferences, select network, and it can be appropriate there. Click the connection category on the left to see the IPs for each and every classification. You may need to click on the TCP/IP tab on the appropriation with a bit old versions. Optionally, go full geek and start the terminal and sort IP configs similar to on home Windows. On a iOS iPad OS, go into settings, Wi-Fi, and click on the I in an amphitheater subsequent to the community you are on. The IP address, subnet, and router aperture will all be there beneath each IPv and IPv part as considered under. If you want the IP address of the contraptions for your network, go into the router. The way you enter your router depends on the brand and the software it runs. In widespread, you will want to be able to categorize the router's gateway IP handle into an internet browser on the identical network to access it. From there, you should navigate to whatever like connected instruments. Then you definitely get an abounding list of all the gadgets currently or lately attached to the community, and that list include the IP handle assigned to each gadget. When you are lucky, you have got acquired a contemporary router or set of routers like Cobweb equipment that can be managed with Cell apps. The app may additionally accomplish it a whole lot simpler to find the IP tackle you need. Click on the icon subsequent to each and every gadget to exhibit the IP handle and extra data for every. That's all for today. Thanks for watching my video, and if you like my video, like it, share and comment in, and also subscribe my channel if you like my video. Thank you so much.